Hey, good evening. It's Tuesday evening, March 23rd. Thanks again for being here tonight for Thoughts for Every Day. It's now for every night. And I want to continue on this theme of friendship that I talked about this morning. Proverbs 27 has some excellent insight into how to understand who's a good friend. And this is one of the most important life skills that you can teach your children. And indeed, it's one of the most important life skills you can learn for yourself. And if we would trust God, if we would trust the wisdom that's in His Word, we would see that God has provided for us to help us guard against friendships that will devastate us. Now, this morning we looked at verses 5 and 6, which are the centerpiece of some thoughts about relationship and friendship. Remember what we read. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy, his kisses are profuse. They're excessive. So you want someone who will speak the truth to you, and someone who cares enough about you to tell you things that we need to know. That's a valuable person. But a person who always has really gushing things to say about you, flattery, praise all the time, that person is someone not to be trusted. And we're set up for that in the lines right previous to this, where notice the reality of what's being said here. Stone is heavy and sand a burden, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Now remember, the fool is one who doesn't know God, doesn't act like God exists. That's a fool. Maybe very intelligent in some ways, but if they don't understand who God is, then they don't acknowledge God's truth, not someone you can trust. That person is not trustworthy, and their provocation, their irritation, their bugging you, their attacks on you will push down heavier than stone or a heavy load of sand. And then the next comparison, anger is cruel and fury overwhelming. In other words, when we get upset, that's tough. But who can stand before jealousy? And again, jealousy carries this mindset of deceit. Someone who's not being honest with you, but wants what you have. And what comes from that is not telling you the truth about yourself, but telling you good things about yourself until you believe them, and then you're caught in the trap. But in contrast, playing up what we read from verses 5 and 6 about the beauty of open rebuke, verse 9, we read these beautiful words. Perfume and incense bring joy to the heart. And in those days, smelling good from the stink they didn't bathe very often was a precious thing. And the pleasantness of a friend springs from their heartfelt advice, their compassionate, heartfelt care for you, where they'll tell you the truth about where you are. They'll do it nicely, they'll do it compassionately, but they're someone you can trust. See, unlike that person who has a jealous intent or who has evil intent towards you, they will tell you only what they think you want to hear. And they'll lure you into this trap of thinking, I can trust this person because they say good things about me. But you see, that's where the trap is. Because the truth is, you and I know we have problems. So why should I believe someone who tells me I don't have problems? Now, we want to have a balance here. We want to be not crushed. We want to have confidence that we can trust God. But we don't want to be so naive to think that, hey, somebody who always has good things to say about me and never has anything that's helpful because constructive criticism, that's somebody I can't trust. They either don't know me well enough, so the intentions may not be all that bad, but they still they don't know you well enough. Or there may be someone who knows you well enough to lead you into a trap where you feel crushed by the sand, pummeled by the stone, and believe that you have been led into a trap? How many relationships are like that? But instead, in contrast, that person who will tell you the truth in compassion and love and care enough to wade through your momentary upset and sacrificially, lovingly tell you what you need to know. That's the kind of relationship you can trust. Cultivate that with other people. And then you teach your children to cultivate that. The wise person loves a rebuke. Not because they like getting beat up, but because they want to know the truth and they know they need it. These words in Proverbs 27 are gold to us, and they'll protect us. And that's the thought for this night. Again, great to have you along. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button and turn on the notifications, and you'll get these podcasts, these videos automatically. Again, so great to be with you tonight, and Lord willing, we'll look forward to talking to you on Wednesday. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.